Today we discuss the Paul Reed Smith Wind Through the Trees dual analog flanger. Hey, James Gier here with Tarpley Music in Fort Worth, Texas. But remember, you can always find us online at tarpleymusic.com. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's real easy to do. You just tap that subscribe button there and you can be one of our subscribers for just a click of a button. It's amazing. So I've got Paul Reed Smith has got 3 pedals out now, and it's no surprise to me that one of these is a dual analog flanger, because if you know anything about Paul, he's pretty obsessed with old vintagey sounds, which is great for someone, especially as a guitar maker. So this is called Wind Through the Trees. It is a dual analog flanger. And it is true bypass, so whether the pedal is initiated or not, you're not losing any signal. Very important when you're doing any sort of a high-end pedal. It should be true bypass. And then you've got 2 LFOs, or low-frequency oscillators, which essentially is the thing that's making it flange and doing the effect. It's a modulation. So it has 2 of those, and you can do any mix of those, or you can do just one or the other. And he's got some master controls on it, and it's a very nice chassis, very strong. It feels really good under the foot when you're turning it on and off. Very important from a gig standpoint here. So we're going to go over the controls of this pretty quick. It's actually pretty straightforward. So if you look at the top, so this is one of your LFOs, and that's the LFO 1 and your LFO 2 here. So you've got a manual, and then you've got your depth and your rate. So these are going to be the things that you can have 2 completely different flangers going. And then with the mix knob here, you can mix any combination of that or just use one or the other. If you notice here, these blue lights are flashing. That's actually the rate of the flange. So the cool thing is these are always on, even if the pedal isn't activated. This is the LED that will show you that your pedal is activated. So you can actually get an idea and set your rates before the pedal's even activated, especially if you need to make a change mid-song, mid-gig, whatever. And then here are, in this gold section here, are your 2 master controls. This first knob they refer to as a regen, but essentially what it is a regeneration. It just pulls that flanger back in again, so you can super saturate and get a really luscious kind of a velvety flanger the more you push that in. And then a lot of times when you get oscillation or modulation pedals, some of the highs can be lost. So this is just a master knob to add the highs into it there. And then, of course, the main knob here, as far as dry wet, is how much of that signal you're bringing in. If you just want a little bit of flange, or if you want to pull all of the flange into your signal. And then, of course, here, this is your activation switch for that. So this this means the pedal is actually activated. So don't let these 2 LFO LEDs throw you off. They're just showing the rate. So what I have is I'm just going through this pedal, and then we're going into the Fender Deluxe Reverb Tone Master and going direct out. So we want to try to give a nice, real clean signal, just going in the normal channel 1 here. So the pedal itself is going to come through. And so we're going to do a couple of settings that Paul Reed Smith has on their website. One is a Leslie style, and there's another one they refer to as the 80s jet engine. Pretty cool. And so we're going to dial those in to see what those sound like here. And then I'm going to go and just mess with this and have some fun with the pedal and just turn some knobs and see what we can do. Now, I will do it in 2 different modes because I am playing Paul's guitar here. So I do have humbucker, and I can switch to single coil. So I'll do some of that demo in humbucker, and then we will do some of that demo in single coil mode. All right, we're going to start everything here at 12 o'clock. All right, so we've heard a lot of cool tones with this pedal by itself, so I'm wondering what one of the settings would sound like with some tracks I did earlier. So let's find out. All right, hit it, boys. So, a few takeaways I have with this pedal. First of all, half the people care and the other half don't about how a pedal looks. I've just kind of noticed. So this is a really classy looking pedal, and people don't think about that stuff. Who cares? But there's a lot of people out there who do spend a lot of their career on video and other things, and this kind of stuff matters. This is a really great, solid chassis and the pedal of it. So, that. But here's another couple of takeaways I really like about it. First of all, with dual flangers going on and the ability to mix that, and then pushing more of that. I mean, with the knob set, it is just you can go very faint all the way to completely ridiculous. So, and everything in between. So, could be a good or bad thing if you're like, hey, I want a few couple settings that are fast, and then, but most people want complete control over, especially a mod pedal like this, I would think. And essentially, even without doing anything but switching this, you've got 3 complete pedal settings. I've got LFO1, I've got LFO2, and then there's a third setting I have, and all I've done is just change the mix knob. The third thing I really, really, really like about it is the fact that it has these master controls here where I can just add some highs if I want to get some crystal sparkly sounds on top of that. I can easily do that without having to add EQ or EQ anything else. So I like when there's master knobs like this on these types of pedals. And then of course the regeneration, whereas I can just thicken and thicken that even more and more. So this is a really cool analog flanger. You can definitely tell it's old school flanger philosophy behind this thing. And I just messing around with just a few minutes as you've heard, it's all over the place, right? Depending on the guitar that you're using and everything else. So beautiful pedal. I think a lot of people have said, okay, why are people still making high end pedals and people who make, it's just like, well, there's a tonal factory when you get into, especially a high end guitar maker like Paul Reed Smith, that he wants to bring some more of that sound up front. So I think it's great. So I think this is a really cool pedal. This is one of the 3 pedals that did come out from Paul Reed Smith. So I hope hearing this, you have some interest in learning about these 3 pedals and more importantly, playing them. Be able to come down to Tarpley and to find a PRS pedal to play. It's I can never replace sitting here and touching the knobs and moving it yourself. You can hear me kind of do that, but I can never replace what it's like to sit down with the pedal and mess with the settings yourself. So I hope you have some interest in doing that. If you like the video itself, then just hit like for us, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's very simple. Just we don't call you at 3 in the morning. No mail shows up. You just get be a subscriber with us. And of course, if you'd like to know as we're dropping more videos, because we are dropping videos every single week, you can just turn on notifications and we'll see you on the next one.